when the world is in trouble.
Our planet has just been attacked by video games.
You're kidding me.
One team will answer the call.
Us? Huh?
Let the nerds take over!
On July 24th.
Let's hit it!
Fly farther.
Pacman's faster than I remember!
Jump higher.
Incoming! Jump!
And play harder.
You're welcome!
Pixels.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Not Content Podcast here on the From the Q Podcasting Network. My name is Jerome Cuson, and here tonight we are going to be discussing another Adam Sandler movie that is the theme for this month of July. We will be discussing 2015's Pixels, quote-unquote, celebrating the 10th anniversary. Please leave a 4 or 5-star review on Apple and Spotify to get those algorithms going. Please like and subscribe to us on YouTube. Click the bell icon for notifications. Brian, we are going to be discussing Pixels, a movie that did meh at the box office, but I just need to point out that Pixels, when it opened, do you realize what movie it opened at second place against?
I'm thinking. This was July, and it opened second place.
July of 2015.
It can't be Avengers, because Avengers came out in...
Well, you're really, really warm. It's not the Avengers, but you're really warm.
What came out after Avengers Ultron that year? Fuck. Was it Mission Impossible? No.
No, I said you were really warm and you just got colder.
Wow, okay. 2015. I give up because I keep thinking it's like a DC movie.
The Ant-Man.
Oh, that's right. That was the start of the Ant-Man
because
franchise.
if you remember, Ant-Man followed up Avengers 2, and then it followed up Avengers 3, and then Quantumania sent 2 actors into retirement, if you can believe it. Evangeline Lilly said she's retired from acting, and Michael Douglas recently came out and said...
For the record, it had nothing to do with the quality or perceived quality of the film, okay? The dude was old. Evangeline Lilly doesn't like Hollywood anymore when she was doing the movie anyway.
All I'm saying is 2 actors retired after Ant-Man Quantumania. That's all I'm saying. I have no idea.
For the record, I guess it could have been 3.
And why 3?
Kang.
Oh. Woof. Boy, I don't even know what to say to that. Probably should be. But all I'm gonna say is, like, look at Catherine Newton's career, not exactly taking off after that movie. It is. I mean, Paul Rudd is Paul Rudd. Like, he's fine, but that movie has really dragged down a lot of careers at this point. But we're going to talk about a movie that it did change Adam Sandler's career. I do have to say, Brian, this movie definitely changed Adam Sandler's career, because I don't know if you remember this, but it was after this movie did, again, kind of meh at the box office. This is around the time that Adam Sandler signed his deal with Netflix that has been going on basically since 2016.
Which is crazy, because I don't think I've seen any of the Netflix movies, even the animated one I planned on watching about that lizard, and I just haven't found the time to watch it. But
I mean,
most
of them have been quite bad. The animated one.
And then I see like a trailer for a movie called Hubie Halloween or some shit like that, and I'm just like, he's really acting like that in a movie? Like, what? Why is he acting like that? He's nearly 60 years old. What is he doing? He's 58, by the way, folks. But the point is, like, he should be aging properly, I guess. But I don't know. We'll see what Happy Gilmore does, because I feel like Happy Gilmore's not going to be the raunchy 25-year-old he was in that movie. He's going to be mature, I hope. And that's the message, I hope. But I haven't seen a lot of his run. I wanted to watch Ridiculous 6, but then I looked at the trailer over and over, and I just feel like I'm going to regret it. But you never know. I might watch the Drew Barrymore one because of the recent viewing of The Wedding Singer, and then me reminiscing about 50 First Dates and how that wasn't really bad. It was a good experience. Maybe I'll watch that one. But other than that, I can see why he's turned away and just did the Netflix thing. But the problem is advertising really has gone down in terms of like, oh, when's the next Adam Sandler movie coming out? It's usually now, Oh, an Adam Sandler movie just dropped, and then you get it from like a text from your friend saying, "Hey, I'm looking on Netflix. Did you know that there's just an Adam Sandler movie that just dropped?" That's usually how I hear about it,
I
and that's
mean,
why I
look,
watched that basketball
there's
movie.
been some pretty bad stuff, but I mean, look, he's still an extremely successful, you know, actor, performer, producer at this point. I think the movies do still have a global reach. I think Adam Sandler is probably the perfect person for doing the streaming movies, I would say. And I don't know. I think it's going to be really, really interesting to see what what happens moving forward with this relationship, because obviously Happy Gilmore is going to be just a huge deal. I think that is a movie that should be in theaters, flat out. Period. Should absolutely be. Um, to me, that's a movie that probably could make a decent amount of money. I don't necessarily know that it would be super successful, but I don't know. It's really strange that um, it's not. It just feels like it should be a big, I guess.
Well, I mean, at least Subway's doing their part. I mean, they doing the Netflix tie-in thing. I saw the advertisement, so that's cool. The Happy Gilmore meal. But we'll see. I just feel like it's a TV buzz kind of thing, and it's not like a buzz in the theater where it should kind of be. That's because look at Christopher Nolan. He's the kind of guy nowadays where he's not going to release a trailer online unless you go to the movie theater and pay a ticket and see a movie and see his trailer at the beginning of it. That's the way he kind of rolls. So it's just a different kind of way you want to market your movies. And Netflix is just different because they're a streaming service. So I don't know, but in terms of this movie, I can see why, like, as a summer movie, you expect this to do well. It's Chris Columbus. You got that tie-in with Home Alone, Harry Potter, The Goonies. We just reviewed that. And Adam Sandler coming together. But the thing is, it's like two different types of style of movies coming together. And for some people, it just doesn't. I guess for a lot of people, it doesn't connect. For some people like me, it connected in a weird way in terms of like,
You
this is
are one of
stupid.
the 18% that's gotten 18% online.
I know. I looked at the Rotten Tomatoes score of the audience too, and it's just I'm part of the problem, I
Why are
guess.
there
I don't
so
know.
many British people in the American government, Brian? Can you please answer that for me?
I don't know. How did Kevin James win the election? Is what I want to know because
Brian,
good for
you
him.
know, you know what? Maybe in 2015 I asked that question. In 2025, I do not ask that question, partially because I don't necessarily want to know the answer, and partially because it feels all too close to what's happening right now.
I guess, but I feel like Kevin James would be the better choice of president. But anyway,
He literally couldn't do any worse, but that's a whole
that's a
other.
whole different thing. But that's the joke is Adam Sandler is like a guy that's buddies with the president, right? And now you're tying an Independence Day plot mixed in with like, I guess they were highly influenced from Wreck-It Ralph, which I kind of see.
King of
Uh,
Kong, I mean, I'm sure
well,
Wreck
King
It
of Kong,
Ralph,
I think they got that in terms of like we want to bring in this character
Peter
that's Donkey
Dinklage.
Kong, and if you watch the King of Kong documentary, it's about this guy. I forget his name, James Mitchell, not James Mitchell. That's the ECW guy.
What
Um,
was that? What are we doing, Brian? Jesus
Sorry,
Christ.
I've been watching ECW stuff. He's been kind of good promos making fun of Wrath and Mortis. But the point is, um,
Billy Mitchell. It is Billy
Billy
Mitchell.
Mitchell. So he's based on the character that Peter Dinklage plays, and if you watch the documentary, he straight up cheated to get the world record. It's a nerdy documentary, but it's a fun watch. It came out in like 2007. I watched it and I was kind
It
of like
is a very
amazed at how
notable
far this guy would
documentary.
go. Yeah, it's amazing how far that guy would go to cheat, and so they kind of based that on the character here, Peter Dinklage's character. Um, so it's a bunch of all these mixed, things from different movies coming together with this idea of like a time capsule sent into space, and in response, it's like this war cry with Galaga and Centipede and Pac-Man and all these different things. And so you're thinking like this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard, but for me, I'm just like, man, I feel like I'm a kid again. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the style and direction of Chris Columbus
I'm
or
sure that's
it's
undoubtedly
part of it. Yeah, and
I
then
find this movie very amusing, and it starts with
yeah,
Johnny Gad.
that's probably because of the script is terrible, and I'll give
The
it that.
script is really terrible.
The script
It's
is
really
really
bad.
terrible, but like
Josh Gad's character arc in this movie is incredibly. It is borderline offensive, just
I
because
don't know if it's
he's really.
offensive. It just might be borderline.
He literally ends up with a video game avatar that cannot speak and thus cannot give consent, and it's really, really weird.
They had
Everybody is
kids. I
okay
don't know
with
why.
it.
They had kids,
I
apparently.
I can't believe it. I want to point out that Sean Bean does not die in this movie, and that is extremely rare.
You think there'd be a deleted scene or something, but I don't even think there is. But you could easily see him getting attacked by whatever. I
I
think it was
was stunned
Galaga,
when he
the
didn't die.
centipede. Yeah,
Like
but even if he
like
got pixelated, he would have just ended up on the ship anyway. And I don't think they killed anyone in this movie officially because it's a family movie, right? So I would have been cool with him getting pixelated though,
I
but
mean,
it didn't
Brian,
happen.
there was something, I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want to spoil it, but there was something I was watching recently where Sean Bean got killed in the middle of the movie. And I was just sitting there and I'm like, why does Sean Bean still have to go through this, man? And yeah, that's
It all started with that James Bond movie, dude, right? Like it's, or was it before that?
I
I don't
don't
even
necessarily,
know.
I mean, I need to look this up
I'm
separate to this,
because I
but
think that it all started like with my buddy texting me like I don't know around season one of Game of Thrones. Like, have you realized Sean Bean keeps dying and stuff? And it started with
yeah,
Goldeneye,
I mean, that's
and
definitely when the article started popping, like, because he
and then it
doesn't.
keeps going and going, and going and going. But yeah, he's fun to watch in this. I think what Brian Cox is collecting a paycheck, but he's having fun.
I'm sure he needed an
Like
attachment
it
to his
looks like he's
house,
having the
man.
same fun that he had in Super Troopers, and I think Super Troopers is probably like a more acclaimed comedy, obviously, but I think he's having the same amount of fun, to be honest. Um, and everyone else is just kind of like looking up in the air, not knowing what the fuck they're seeing because it's a CGI movie, obviously, and everyone just
And it
shooting
looks very
blanks.
goofy. There's some Independence Day,
And I guess they got the
like
creator of
it's
Pac-Man as a cameo. That was cool, but
yeah, and they use his likeness because he has a bigger role in the movie. Obviously, he's played by an actor in the bigger role, but yeah, I mean, clearly this is supposed to be sort of an homage to the video games of the '80s, and even the movies and TV shows to a lesser extent. But I don't know. Like to me, I think that this movie, like I see what it's trying to do. I just don't think it's in any way successful because the bottom line is the movie isn't funny, and when the movie isn't funny, that's going to make this kind of a painful process because this is a movie that's 1 hour and 45 minutes. So it's a few minutes longer than some of the other movies that we've been talking about. And again, the characters are very annoying, especially Josh Gad. But really, Adam Sandler, it just feels like he's just kind of phoning it in. Michelle Monaghan is fine, but again, she's not like a focal point character. Brian Cox and Sean Bean are kind of entertaining, but they're also kind of hamming it up too. So they're kind of a mixed bag. I mean, Kevin James, he is a very limited performer, and like he's fine on a sitcom, but I just like I understand that he was in the Paul Blart movies; those movies are successful, but I've never seen Kevin James in a movie and been like, you know what? If I were making a movie, I would cast Kevin James.
maybe voice actor. I can picture some parts, but yeah. Um, I thought it was interesting too that the president actually chose to fight in the battle, which is something kind of completely unheard of in any movie about the president, unless it's Air Force One, right? Um, yeah, it just I don't know. It has those Independence Day vibes as well, and we just of course, as of this recording, it's a little after July 4th. Me and Jerome have watched our clips and stuff of the Independence Day during 4th of July or whatever, so all that kind of stuff is fresh in my head. And when I watch this again, recently, it's like this is very much Independence Day, but in a fun kind of kiddier kind of way, a safer kind of way. Um, that's why I think I kind of pick up and relate to some of the lines and I laugh at some of the stupid stuff. I think the stupidest line is probably JFK shot first. And they edited the Zapruder footage. I know that probably sounds offensive to people, but to me,
It's
that's
not
just
even
so
offensive. It's just not
ridiculous.
like to me the most offensive thing is that it's just not funny.
Like,
Like it's
imagine
just
if I
really
got a
stupid.
T-shirt and wore a T-shirt around LA that says JFK shot first. I don't even know what kind of reaction I
Go
would
to
get.
go to Dallas and see what kind of reaction you get.
Oh my goodness, they're gonna kill me. But anyway,
I
that's just the
mean, there's
kind of
other reasons they'll kill you too. I'm not going to
yeah,
get into that, but
yeah, oh yeah, my color. Anyway, but yeah, Josh Gad's character is just ridiculous in this movie, and I guess he's my favorite just because of the stupid shit he says, and I mean, look, he's Olaf. He's other characters. He's a good
I think
comedy
he has
guy.
much. I like him in voiceover stuff, but when he is in a movie or show, generally not a fan.
I mean, when he's being unhinged, I'm like, okay, I see why they casted you. This is what the role needs. And he's going off on the army officers for no reason at all. And I'm laughing because it's stupid and it makes no sense. But I don't know, just something about stupid movies sometimes I just find myself laughing. And the measuring stick that I kind of have with a movie like this is how often is it played on TV, right? Because if it's played on TV a lot, that means advertisers are putting their ads on it because people are actually watching it still. And every now and again, this movie comes on TV, whether it's FX or TBS or something like that, and that tells me that there is kind of like this still smaller audience that maybe in a 15-year time span, 20-year time span will find even a bigger audience. I know that this is like the 10-year anniversary almost to the day, but I still feel like it's still growing its audience. Like imagine Happy Gilmore in 19 from 1996 to 2006 and how big it's grown since
I mean,
2006.
I'm sure that this movie does
It could
reasonably
find an
well on
audience, I think.
streaming.
Yeah.
The thing
It
is
just
that Adam Sandler has an audience, and I think that if they're going to find it, that's where it's going to be. Like, it's going to be Adam Sandler's people. I mean, a lot of Adam Sandler movies tend to do well on streaming. Like, if you look at the top tens on a Peacock or Netflix, like his movies do very well. That's why Netflix continues to do business with him. But I mean, this is always, I think, going to be regarded as kind of the lesser of his movies, and that's justified because, again, this movie, like again, even by the standards of Adam Sandler, this is bottom tier, and it just doesn't feel like even in movies that Adam Sandler isn't great in, it just feels like this is a movie that doesn't even feel like it has a lot of good Adam Sandler energy either. But look, I will also say this that this movie is clearly homaging Independence Day, a movie that is cheesy in its own right, but I think is still a very well done movie with the archetypes and the effects and the performances. I would watch this 100 times before even considering watching Independence Day Resurgence again.
Oh yeah, you sat through that. Oh, I saw the text, Jerome, and you made me want to never watch it even more because I will
It's
never watch
it's
that movie.
it's so bad,
Did they
Brian.
really
It's
kill Will Smith off screen? Is that
they
really true?
really spoilers for Independence Day Resurgence. Yeah, they killed him in a training
God
exercise on
damn it. They
screen.
did it to Van Damme and Kickboxer. Fuck.
It's so bad, Brian. I
I
can't
know.
even believe it.
Well, at least this movie, in comparison, I think has better colors, right? Because I think the colors in this movie are really well done. Like the bright 80s look. I love the look of the arcade in the 80s. I feel like every time we see an
It
arcade
is
in the
nice to
80s,
watch a movie that's like 10 years
yeah.
old and isn't washed out. That's for
Yeah, and
sure.
like, okay, so whenever there's like an 80s scene in an arcade, I see a lot of brown, a lot of like wood paneling, and thank God they didn't do that in this movie. I'm sick of that. I think that's also because of Stranger Things came out after this, and there's a lot of wood paneling and a lot of those sets because of the 80s and shit. I'm just sick of it. So I just want a nice clean set with some cool arcade machines that are nicely lit, and we got that in this movie. So, and it's kind of interesting to see Atari and Nintendo coming together because Nintendo and Donkey Kong, right? That's a license right there. Atari's got a license here. So it's interesting to see these kind of coming together. And if you were to do a trivia, I think a lot of people would assume that the first time we see Donkey Kong in a movie would have been Super Mario Brothers from 2 years ago, when in reality, it's actually Pixels. So a little bit of trivia there.
Yes, sir. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to say about this movie. Again, not quite successful, but not a bomb. Like it's definitely not like I would say disappointing box office, but by no means unsuccessful
Yeah, like I didn't see it in
completely.
theaters. I saw it on like a Redbox rental like
It's
months
random
later.
that I saw this movie as like a sneak preview screening. So I saw this movie before most people on the planet did, which is kind of bizarre.
I had the same thing with Too Fast, Too Furious, and I guess they didn't change much because I watched the TV version later on. I was like, this is exactly like the cut that they showed before the movie came out. So I've been there. So technically, you didn't contribute to its gross, and I didn't contribute to the gross of Too Fast, Too Furious. But I guess it didn't matter anyway. And this is
one of
2015.
those movies one of those movies was part of a successful
At
franchise.
least one of those, yes. But in terms of like kind of measuring the rentals, like we usually can do that when it's like the 90s Adam Sandler stuff and tell you that it was a a big hit on rentals and stuff like that. You can't really do it in this era now. It's, we're in the era of streaming.
Nobody's renting
2015,
movies anymore.
nobody's renting movies unless it's Redbox like me at the grocery store. You just kind of want to see what's out and pick a few movies here and there like I did every once in a while. So, yeah, that's kind of the story of me watching Pixels. I know a lot of people don't like it. I find it entertaining, and I don't think it's a seven. I think it's like a six, like barely a six, but passable enough where it's like I find myself watching this movie multiple times for some stupid reason that I can't even explain myself. So it's one of those things where it's like a guilty pleasure.
So I just want to point out, I believe I misspoke earlier. I believe I said he signed his deal with Netflix after. He actually signed his first deal with Netflix in October of 2014. He announced a four movie deal between his production company, Happy Madison, and them. So in 2015, of course, Pixels comes out. His first movie under the 2014 deal definitely does not come out until after that would be the Ridiculous Six, which is just awful, just absolutely awful.
And you've been
And
watching
then
Westerns lately, so you know how awful it is in
it
comparison now.
is, yeah, so bad. He did the do over. He did the Meyerowitz stories, which is pretty damn good, I would say. Kind of an underrated movie, I would say. And then he's just kind of been humming along, generally making two or three Netflix movies a year. Of course, he has also had Uncut Gems, which a lot of people thought he should have been nominated for. But really, he's been staying in the Netflix kind of format. And he did Hustle, which I like. He did a stand-up comedy special last year called Adam Sandler Love You, something I really do need to watch. And he did Spaceman, which was okay as well. And of course, this is leading us to next week, Brian. This is why you decided to pick this month.
It all kind of fits with the release date of July 25th. That's the weekend before we usually record anyway for our latest episode, which comes out Tuesday late. And it's perfect timing. So I'm got some friends coming over. We're excited about it because I got the bigger TV out of all of us in the living room. Thanks, Mom, all those years ago for buying it for the house. It's going to be fun. It's going to be I guess they're not going to drop it like at midnight anymore. They're going to drop it earlier for all the older folks because that's not a thing anymore. So it's going to be fun. I'm going to put chips in a bowl, which I haven't done in years. Maybe pop some popcorn, which I haven't done in years. Kind of make it a different feel to it. Get the dogs around, get them calmed down. Watch Adam Sandler, and God, I hope I'm wrong when I read that it was an hour and 50 minutes. That may have been just like an estimate, or someone just had to put something in terms of like putting in a time for the information on the website or something. But who knows? Um, we'll see. Because they could easily, knowing Netflix, you can cut out like 10 minutes of a movie and we would never know up until the date of release, right? So it's possible that they could just trim it down 20 minutes for the sake of doing it. But we'll see. We'll see. But I'm looking forward to it.
I do want to point out, in doing some searching, it does appear that the movie is going to be released at 12 a.m. U.S. Pacific time. So it does appear that it will be released at the usual time.
Okay, there you go. It's going to be a fun night.
Are you going to stay up and are you going to do a midnight screening of Happy Gilmore?
I think so, man. I think that's the plan with the friends coming over, and despite it being late, we'll smoke some bowls. It'll be good because, California and its freedoms. California and its freedoms. I say that specifically with what's going on right now.
Absolutely. All right. So next week we will be discussing Happy Gilmore 2, which is going to be really, really exciting. No matter whether it's good or bad, at least I'm sure we will have a lot to talk about. And next week we will also go over what we'll be doing in the month of August. I am very excited for what we are doing in the month of August as well. So, any final thoughts, Brian, before we end this episode?
For kind of a perspective, yes, I like pixels, but I don't like click. So if that's kind of like a grading scale for you people,
We click is so bad, man. I
I got friends
cannot
that love
believe
click, so I don't know what it is with the Adam Sandler
I
movies. It's like
I
each
think
person's
those
got a
people
different
are
spectrum.
drunk.
Well, I
I
love
think
pixels, so I'm
Click
stoned.
is Click is one of my least favorite Adam Sandler movies. I almost like Click is probably a better movie than Pixels. I think Click is a total that movie is a chore to watch, in
And
my
let's never
opinion.
mention Jack and Jill and Al Pacino and Dunkin' Donuts.
I mean, there's no way we are ever going to talk about that movie. So for Brian, I am Jerome. Thank you so much for listening. We will talk to you again next week.